really exist. That's not a
Cinematic
thing.
colors is not a thing, because cinematic is a confluence of a lot of different things. It's lighting, it's scene setting, it's the camera work. It's so many different elements that make something cinematic. If you look at a film and the color feels off, then immediately it removes you from the story. Anything that takes you away from the story is not good. It doesn't give you that cinematic feel, then we are failing. Everything we do is to fill our films with emotion.
My wife.
My wife. Oh my word. What is the most heard thing at a wedding?
Oh yeah.
My wife.
So Lizzie, what's the topic for today?
Topic for today is storytelling. For the two of us, stories, it's our life. It's what we do. It's what our relationship is built on, to be very honest. So it's what we try and do for other people. It's these little things that become big things that you don't actually realize make up such a big part of why people feel like they know our couples when they watch our films, right? Yeah. So we were thinking of splitting it up into 4 different categories, right?
Sounds great.
Okay, am I telling you this for the first time?
You're telling me this for the first time? I've never heard this.
It's difficult to break up a story into just 4 main components, and what we're going to be chatting about today is color in films and why color is important. And then we'll have a series where we look at now I've forgotten it again, 4th. For some reason my brain is just like, no, you're not going to remember 4 little things. So it's color, it's audio, it's our editing process and building the story, and spoiler alert, a movie starts with a script. And then the final one is camera movement and how we decide which moments should feel natural, which moments should feel more cinematic. And we're also going to get into that. We're going to get into that.
Let's really jump onto cinematic.
Cinematic.
Right? On Instagram and everywhere, you keep on seeing these ads for get cinematic colors. What is cinematic colors? Well, cinematic colors doesn't really exist. That's not a thing.
Cinematic colors is not a thing, because cinematic is a confluence of a lot of different things. It's lighting, it's scene setting, it's the camera work. It's so many different elements that make something cinematic. So yes, the color is one part of it. It's not all it is. So without it, yes, it can't be cinematic, agreed, but it's not the only thing.
But cinematic is such a clickbaity word.
It is a very clickbaity word, but it's because we can still use it because people know what it means, and even though they don't technically know what it means, they understand how something makes them feel. So let's still use that word for lack of a better word.
Considering today is all about color.
All about color.
How many years have you been in color?
Your
Your eye is way better trained than mine.
I feel like I've been into color since I was like 2 years old. I think as a girl, you literally match the dress, and I also used to, well, I still do it if I have time. Usually the nails match the outfit. So today is sort of, it still works because it's clear and I'm wearing a neutral shirt.
Natural.
So yes, I am a little bit strange where I will redo my nails if it does not fit the outfit. So I've been into color for a very long time, and it's something that you grow a lot. If I think about what I was doing 5 years ago versus what I'm doing now, you go through a learning curve where you do more and more, and then you realize that less is more with color. So you don't have to do all the fancy things.
Back in the day, I did some color, and I know you're not supposed to slide it all the way.
No, right? You're not supposed
Never
to
slide it all the way. So basically,
way.
that means you can slide it all the way to 90, because that's not all the way.
And then put it back.
And then kind of go from there. So color used to be really bad, and I used to think that throwing a LUT over your footage, that is color grading. I was so wrong.
You were very wrong.
So wrong. And to be honest, I still don't know how DaVinci works, because that is your thing, not mine. Color is the thing that actually makes you look professional. If someone looks at your work the first glance, you can see in the color if they actually know what they're doing or not.
How do we make it look more like film? And this is probably where we should come in with our little, you want to do that?
Yeah, I'll do that, Adri. We do have a sponsor for this video, and that is Dehancer. Dehancer contacted us. They don't get to view the video before we post it, and all opinions are our own. That's... And we have a discount code, 10% off.
10%
if you
off.
use TEORIFILMS. I fucked up our own name. And you get 10% off if you use TEORIFILMS in the checkout as a discount code.
So discount code, yes. Can we not just put all of that in the description below?
All that shit down below.
So the good folks from Dehancer asked us to review their program, and it's been incredible, to be very honest. I literally spent 5 or 6 years and I've literally fine-tuned this coloring process of mine. How many programs do we use to edit a wedding film?
5 in total.
It's 5 programs in total, and
That's,
it's just and yes, technically you can do it all in one, but
it's
just not that good. So yes, we got the extra mile.
Specialized programs for each one
It just works better. All of what I've been doing over the last 6-7 years is how do I get our images to not look so digital? So I've refined the process, and you play with your natural skin tones and getting all the colors true to life, and then you put in halation, you put in bloom, and bloom is that lovely glow that just like, oh, it's just beautiful.
We've been trying to replicate bloom for years now.
For years and years.
It just never works.
It never really works.
I think it's the compression.
Because a lot of the programs, they don't read the totality of the image. That's what I'm really loving about Dehancer. Dehancer is essentially a film emulation program where they've got all the different film stocks and film prints. So you can say, I want a Kodak print, and then I want this particular amount of gray and an amount of halation. And what I've really just found is that I'm just really loving it. It looks beautiful. Everything we do is to fill our films with emotion. Doesn't mean we want everyone crying all the time. Emotion is also happiness. It's laughter. It's literally that silly, amazing little kitchen dance that you do after you get married. That is also emotion. And all of that...
That is all the emotion.
That is all the emotion. So if the color does not speak to what you are seeing and what you are hearing, then we are failing. Dehancer is really just an incredible tool to get you to that cinematic look.
Oh, great use of the word cinematic.
Thank you. I tried. Color and why it's important is that if you don't notice it, it's a win. If it looks like film, you are winning at life. And the reason why is that it enhances your viewing experience. Anything that takes you away from the story is not good. It doesn't give you that cinematic feel. If it keeps you in the story, if it keeps you engaged, that's really what it's all about. We've used obviously all the native elements that's available in Resolve. We've used Film Convert. To me, Dehancer...
Film Convert's more about grain.
It's more about grain, but once again, there is grain also in the Dehancer, which I think is better than what Film Convert is giving us.
I agree.
It's lovely. Let's do a comparison, which we can show you here. Here. Is it going there? It's somewhere around here.
There.
It's going there. This looks like a movie, and this looks digital now. I thought it was
actually
good,
shocking when you compare the
then-
shoot. All of a sudden it's like, wow, this was really digital.
It's interesting though, because I mean, we are shooting digital, so it's never going to look 100% like film. It has its own characteristics, and even, you know, this is more your field, but the lenses that they use, the vintage lenses together with the film stock, it's a collation of, once again, a lot of different elements.
How much time actually goes into just choosing the film stock and the lens that suits it? It is insane.
It's massive.
It's not like a director uses the same one every time.
No.
It's based on the story. What will give you the feeling the most?
One thing that we also want to make clear is that the reason we are focusing on storytelling and emotions and how the different elements play into that is that our strength is really telling your story and putting together the elements that really evokes emotion. There are definitely lots more people that can take you through what the different film stocks mean and how they were developed and who developed them, and that's not our
I actually don't know anything about that.
You don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
You don't need to. From a Dehancer point of view, it's also so beautiful because they give you all these different sort of stocks that you can play with. The one that I'm using currently is just one that's very true to life, just because we don't want our wedding film stylized. But the thing is, there is the option to make it look that way. It's really beautiful. If you get this image and you start putting it all together, it's taken it to a bit of a different level. The features in there are really stunning. It just really adds another layer of wowness to our films going forward.
How user-friendly is the answer thing?
It is a drag and drop. You put it on your nodes. If you don't know how to use Resolve, you're not going to be able to use Dehancer. There is a Premiere plugin for you.
I saw.
They literally give you a breakdown of everything. So you've got full control over which film stock you want to use, which film print do you want to use. Do you want to add more contrast? How much grain do you want to put in? How much bloom? How much elation? So every single component that would be in a film camera, you can control individually, which is really, really lovely because it gives you a lot more control over what's natively available in Resolve. The reason why I'm talking more on this particular topic is that it just worked out so beautifully where we have strengths in different parts of the process. And the color is my process, so that's something that I handle. So I put the story together and then I do the color, and then all the technical aspects and all the final touches on the film and all the audio and sound effects, that is all you. So essentially the films start with me and then he gets his hands on it.
Do you think we should ever actually teach each other how to?
We should definitely. I might die tomorrow. We can teach one another, but it's just something that I don't know if we can do.
It takes so long to actually get it done right.
It takes long to get it right, but there's also an element. There's an element of innate talent. Yes.
I don't think my eyes will ever be as adapted for color as yours is.
It'll get better.
It will get better, but I think it's impossible to get it.
Most likely.
Probably because I didn't look at dresses as a kid. My mom just went to Miss Surprise and we got the shirts with the dogs on.
Oh, Mad Dogs.
And white shirts are my favorite.
Yes, we know that.
So I'm okay with white balance during the day.
But not during the evening.
No.
He gets white balance wrong so many times in the evening. And it's just very wrong, but it's okay.
Is very
we
wrong.
Fix it in post.
Fix it in post.
Fix it in post.
Don't you love those words?
Don't you just famous last words? Famous last
It's like moving this thing can take me 10 seconds or I can fix it in post. It will only take a day. And
true story.
Then we fix it in post.
Fix it in post.
With weddings, people spend hours and hours choosing the color palettes.
It's not hours, it's months.
Days, months.
Years.
Yeah. Choosing the color palette, and then we go and decide, no, I like orange and teal.
Staying true to life is really, really important, and that means skin tones look really, really good, because that for me is a non-negotiable. It has to be good skin tones, and we don't try and stylize your wedding. A wedding is already stylized, right? Like we said, they spent years and months, and literally it's their event. So if you decided to go with a green and white flower arrangement, then I don't want to make those flowers look yellow, because it just feels stylistically correct to me. So we always stay true to life with, I suppose, little bits and bobs that we put in between in terms of color palette, true to life, because we know how much time has been spent on getting this wedding to look the way that it does. And we all know that weddings are not what they used to be when we got married. Used to be so plain and boring, and these days it's just majestic. We would do something very different today.
Completely different.
Very different. This is something that you will realize, and I apologize if this ends up being like an hour, because between the two of us it might be an hour. But if we actually get back to the topic, why is color important for us? So it takes me a full probably 14 hours if I sit down and only do color for the day. To give you an idea, if we do deliverables, like we give you your film, we give you your speeches, and we put in a documentary edit, then we're ending up with around 1,000 clips. Literally every single clip gets individual attention. The reason we do this is because if you look at a film and the color feels off, then immediately it removes you from the story and you're focusing on the incorrect thing. So it's one of those things that if you don't notice it, it's actually a good thing, right? It needs to feel natural. It needs to feel like it belongs there. We've all been watching movies since we were little. You maybe a little bit more than the average person.
I was watching movies in the cinema as a baby.
As a baby, yes. So I think you've got more behind your belt than a lot of us do. Everything that I've tried to do for the last 5 or 6 years in my coloring process is how do we get our digital image to look more like film? And the reason why is because film is something that we grew up with. It's something that we still see. It's literally something that's ingrained, and if we see an image that looks like film, that has the right colors, that has the right glow and the right halation and all of that, it's just really pleasing to the eye and it puts you in the story. I think this is also maybe a good space to talk about our name, because we've never really explained. We've never explained how we got to
For
this.
those of you that don't know, we used to be Real Productions.
Which was a terrible name.
It is a terrible name, and we said Real Productions.
And also,
looking back, it was a really bad name.
And looking back, it was never started as a wedding film company. So we sort of fell into it, to be very honest, and we just loved it. We just love it. So here we still are today.
So Lizzie,
yes.
Tell me about
because
the
technically
name.
I did come up with the name, right? So guys, we went through insane process of trying to find something that really fit what we try and do, and it really is all about storytelling. And just as a little anecdote, so Stefan and I, we used to do this thing where if we didn't have anything to do, like a lazy Sunday, I just tell you, like, tell me a story. So stories are a really big part of our relationship. I love books, you love movies. Well, we both love movies, but you love them more than I do, I think. I love books more than you do. So stories have been a big part of not just our lives growing up, but our relationship. And our name, we really wanted something that reflected this obsession that we have with storytelling. Massive shout out to Diana and Sean, one of our beautiful, beautiful couples that we got to film 2 years ago. It was such an incredible celebration. So Diana's from America, and literally she flew in her entire friends and family. You know, you were there. Like, don't look at me like you didn't experience this yourself.
I kind of got lost in your story there.
I was there.
You were
definitely
there. And it was just such a beautiful celebration where everybody came to this really unknown country that they've never been in, like halfway across the world. Diana and Sean, the way that they met is that neither of them were supposed to be in a particular spot where they actually met. And then I realized that this is such a common denominator between so many of our couples, is that they meet in a place where so many little things had to happen for them both to be at that particular moment, in that point in time, for that awesome love story to begin. And then it really reminded me of chaos theory. Essentially, what it comes down to is that one little thing that you do now, the impact that it's going to make on your day might be significant. And, just like Diana and Sean, the way that they met, where she went with a friend and she didn't want to go out, and Sean was stuck on a boat in the marina, and they decided to go out because they couldn't leave on the yacht that he was working on. That's what Chaos Theory is all about, is all these random acts that eventually bring you to the place where you are meant to be. That's where the name originated from, is that our stories start in the little moments. The name is from Chaos Theory, and then obviously we are Afrikaans. In Afrikaans, theory is Teori. So then we just thought we'd zhuzh it up a little bit. So we throned it, and that's where we came up with Teori. And it's really all based on how little moments, and that's something that's also very important for us on a wedding day. It's not just the first kiss or the first dance. It's all those little moments in between, the banter between you and your new husband. That's where the story lives, and we love it.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant.
You.
Well done.
Thank you.
That was fun. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I hope that I teach you something.
You did.
Okay.
And we'll see you in the next episode, all about storytelling.
Editing and
So hit the
storytelling.
subscribe button down below. And remember to check out Dehancer and get 10% off when using the promo
Teori
code TEORIFILMS.
Cheers, guys.
Should we do a TEORIFILMS? And
we
just
can
make
do
it floaty with stars.
But we can do a little TEORIFILMS. Come on, give me your hand.
Yeah.
Oh, Teori.